Good morning, how are we doing? This is day 3 of the Bina and Binka Bootcamp. That's what I decided to call it. It's got a bit of alliteration going on. Oh, that's smelling like ferret food. Right, let's make these little balls of meaty wonder for Binka and Beano. Just preparing this little meat tray for them, and then we'll continue going through the F3 ferret system, and as Perth's rush hour drones on in the background, we'll be training Binka and Beano for the 3rd day in a row this morning, and as you can see, they're looking very keen to get some food. Now, as said before in the other training days, day 1 and day 2, these little critters, these little ferrets, if they are full or satiated, they won't be interested in learning anything, because they would have fulfilled their quota, so to speak, and they won't want to interact or learn. They'll just want to go to sleep and snuggle up and be full, just like we are. When we're full, we're just like, yeah, cool, stick on a YouTube video, or whatever you fancy watching, and just veg out on the sofa, you know what I mean? So these two are no different. So keeping them hungry is part of this training system. All right, little ones. Let's just... All right, so no biting so far, which is cool. So let's just... Doop. Doop. Okay, so we've got Binka first again. It seems to be working that way. Doop. And as I've learned over the course of a few days, to pick the treat up with the treat hand and the ferret up with the ferret hand. Doop. Same behaviours as the last few days. We've had Binka wanting to consume the food behind the carry box and the cage. Doop. Which is fine. Going for acquisition and doop. And then comfort, safety, and then comfort. So heading for safety, comfortable to eat the acquisition. Doop. Now I'm periodically just holding on to Binka a little bit longer. Oh, she's coming up. Boop. Doop. Doop. But she's really wolfing down this food this morning, and that means that she really is quite hungry. There we go. Doop. So I'm just slowing down that movement, putting her down, just to show her that I'm no threat to her. I am here for acquisition. Doop. And it's safe to take food from me, you know what I mean? And So again, this is day 3 of just building that trust with them, and I feel, you know, far more comfortable handling them now in day 3 than I was in day 1. Come on. Doop. That was an interesting interaction. Doop. Careful. Doop. 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 There we go. She's eating out the palm of my hand. Wonderful. Did you see that? Those last 3 treats or 4 treats. I picked her up and she had a sniff and it looked as though she was going to bite me, go for a nip, and she was just sniffing my hand and checking out the situation. And then the next treat I gave her, I held her and she was just happy to be held and consuming the food in my hand. And that happened over three acquisitions. That's a real turning point. That's where trust is going up a level for them. And as I explained yesterday, they have to lead that trust. It's not something that I can force them to do. They have to get to that stage where they're comfortable with that. But that means that this system works and it's progressing quite nicely. All right, distraction treat ready. Right, so morning Beano. Doop. Right, so straight away Beano wants to go for safety, which is cool. Got my acquisition, need to feel comfortable, go for safety. Comfortable, happy eating. Beano's already had the distraction treat, so she's had something to eat, but she's still hungry. Doop. So I was just holding her for a few seconds there, and her body language was like, I need to go, so I put her down. Doop. Same there, they kind of push you with their hand a little bit to say, hey, let me go. And as we're trying to build trust here, I'm putting her down just to say, yep, I understand you. Doop. Whereas with Binka, towards the end of her feeding, she was happy to stay up and eat from my hand. So we'll see if we can get to that point with Beano, because it kind of happened yesterday. She was happy in a sense. Doop. To do that towards the end of her feeding yesterday. So no, sorry. So Binka was happy to be held and fed. Doop. And there we go. That was a nice little moment there, where she was happy to chew being held. Doop. There we go. Doop. Doop. Here we go. Having the treat being held. Seems quite comfortable with that now. So there we go, halfway through Beano's feeding this morning. She's decided that that's cool. So we've reached a level of trust there now. Boop. Her little back feet are just resting on my hand there, having a look around, having a little sniff. Doop. And not wanting to push me away to go to safety. Doop. So she's quite happy just in my hand there, also looking for more food. Doop. Oh, there's an unfamiliar sound there, which is my phone ringing, so yep, gone for safety. Hello mate. I was just feeding Beano and I had her feeding out of my hand and you rang and she was like, oh no, what's that? No, what's that? What's the guitar playing out of a phone doing? So it's alright man, she ran for safety. I'll let her go and she'll be fine. I'll just prepare a few more treats. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Oh, this is Seth. He's just ringing me actually, and I get a call most mornings from Seth just to see how I'm going. So this is how good the F3 system is, because I get calls. But yeah, towards the end of Binka's training this morning, I could hold her and she could consume the food. And Beano's done that as well. So Beano started doing that yesterday. Binka didn't want anything to do with that yesterday. She was just give me food and I want safety, so I'll go to safety and consume my food there. But there was this moment this morning where I held her and it looked as though she turned her head and it looked as though she was going to go for a bite. And then she just sniffed my hand and had a little bit of a look around, and then she took the treat, and then I put her down just to say, hey, you know what? If you want to go safe, you go safe. And then the next one, she came up and she took the treat, and she was happy to just eat it, being held. Trust. Doop. Yeah, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, and like I'm just slowing everything down as well. So all the movements are much slower now, and I'm giving her back feet. I'm giving her back feet a little rest. She's resting them on my hand as I'm talking to you now, and she's having a little sniff around. She's finished the treat, and I'm putting her down. And she doesn't run to go safe now. She's just in the open, and she's like, no, more food, and we'll just consume it being held in the hand. And she's quite happy. Say again. Doop. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to finish this training up, mate, and then I'll give you a call back. How long of your drive have you got left? Doop. Cool. All right, mate. Cheers for phoning. All right, bye. Cool. So that was Seth. Seth's really supportive. So that's the guy that wrote the F3 training system, and he's just checking in to see how I'm going. He has long drives to work, so he uses that time to just catch up with people and just just maintain contact, I suppose. And it's just so nice. So yeah, and so as you can see there, I've reached that level with Beano now, quicker than Binka, where I can now hold her and she's happy eating and chewing and masticating, and then I put her down only really, so then I can go and get another treat, because I don't want to swing around too far just yet with her in my hand and give her that movement, because to a kit ferret, like even a small movement seems really big, so I don't want to swing her around to then grab another treat to then feed her yet. That will be the going forwards, but as I'm just building trust, we're just going to go with the small movements and that repetition for now. But this is a really successful training session. They're both eating, being held, so in 3 days they're really receptive and the trust is being built, which is just fantastic. And I'm just seeing, I've just let Binka out. Binka knows that Beano has a treat there, the distraction treat, which he's now consumed. So we're just going to take the opportunity to close the transportation case, or the travel box, just to teach them that when the distraction treat goes in that box, you put them on top of the treat, they're distracted, the box goes in, and that minimises biting, because as I've mentioned before in the last 2 days, and I know that I'm repeating myself, but if I'm repeating myself, then it's good, because I'm learning at the same time. I mean, I'm learning this system as I'm documenting this. So, but also, like if you sort of jump in at like training day 3, the training is really no different for the moment as day 1 and 2. So, but yeah, putting an animal in a box and closing the box means that you're basically incarcerating the animal. No one likes to be incarcerated. So, if someone was going to shove you in a jail cell, wouldn't it be nice if they gave you a roast dinner to go in with, and you were just like, wow, they've locked me in here now, so I might as well just tuck into this, and it's the same thing. So every time they go in their carry box, it's distraction treat, ferret in, close the box, they consume the treat, so then they know that that's a really good bargain for them, rather than just being put in a box and they're just like, great, I just had breakfast and now I'm in this box again. Why am I in my bedroom? This is where I sleep. So it's better just to do that and to have that consistency, so they learn what the go is. So today has been a brilliant training session so far. So I'm really looking forward to tonight's one, because we can carry on building that trust. And where I want to get to tonight is to have them eating out of my hand for every single treat. I think the first couple of treats, they'll be like, grab the treat, go to safety, grab the treat, go to safety, and then they'll grab the treat and consume from the hand and being held, grab the treat and consume from the hand. And I think that's where I want to be. So it would be really good probably to stand here, I think. So I can hold the ferret here, grab the treat and drop it into the palm of my hand, and then we can just continue feeding, being held. So that might be the go. I might be able to see if I can scooch this board over to the edge here, so I've got more of a table, and then I can just hold them here, So if they do get freaked out, or they do need to run to safety at any point for any reason, say there's a bird flying over and they're like, oh my God, it's an eagle, they might go, oh, let me go, and I need to go to safety. Then I can go, yep, we're cool, I understand. So yeah, tonight that's the ideal scenario. But if that doesn't happen yet, then that's cool. We can do it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really happy with day 3 training. What do you reckon, girls? Oh, you're hanging for another bit of food, aren't you, Binka? Yeah, but I'm just really enjoying having them. It's a big improvement, and it's a much different scenario now than day 1. But as Seth did say to me, you know, first date with a ferret's going to be a bit frosty, and it was, but we're all good. All right, cool. I'll see you guys tonight. Oh, it's that first sip of Earl Grey tea for the day. That is just, whew. Oh, it's just magic, isn't it? Love tea. Who doesn't love tea? Oh, it's gonna be a nice day as well. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to day 3 afternoon training for Binka and Beano. Now we have pre-prepared treats already set out, so I'm going to keep my hands nice and clean today, or this afternoon. And we're going to see how we go with these two. How you doing? So from this morning I've moved this over a little bit closer so we can do sort of more hand feeding this way, and yeah, we're just going to deal with any nipping that we have, so we'll see how we go. So first one to go is distraction treat, and we'll see how these two go. All right. Oh. Doop. Okay, we have I'm just going to sort out this water while I can, because their water bowl is empty, so I'm just going to get some water. Bear with me. Right, I've got the water sorted, but now I need another distraction treat because Beano's got out because I forgot to latch the cage. So let's go again. Oh, careful. Let's just get you in there. A bit of ferret management. Now Binka seems to want to climb up me, which is okay. Doop. Bit of ferret management here. Come on. Doop. And we're just slowing everything down. Doop. Doop. So Binka is still sort of pushing away to say put me down, so I'm putting her down. Doop. But we're slowing everything down. Doop.
just going to watch her, and as she finishes, we're going to call her name now. It's just going to introduce a name to the mix. So as they're coming towards me, I'll call Binka. And this will just introduce her, the learning of a recall. So, here we go. We'll just let her masticate that. And Binka, Binka, doop. Cool. Binka, good girl. Doop. Binka, doop. And some of these treats she's consuming really quickly. Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Binka, Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Binka, doop. Right, and she's had her fill now, so this is the distraction treat. Binka, just put her down. Doop. And this is Beano. Doop. Beano. Doop. Just wait for her to finish the treat, and as she turns, Beano. Doop. Just wait for her to finish. As she turns, I'll shout, call her name. Beano. Doop. Beano. Doop. It's not as much talking today because I'm concentrating. Beano. Doop. Now there's still a little bit of psychological pressure to get away and to go and consume the treat behind the box in the cage. Beano. Boop. And here she's deciding to eat in the open. Beano. Doop. Beano. Doop. Just wait for her to finish that. Beano. Doop. Beano. Doop.
Beano. Doop. Beano. Doop. Okay, let's just get you a distraction treat. Cool, so that went really well. Just putting a recall in there and making sure that from now on, every time I feed them and they're coming towards me, I'll call their name, and that will work really well for them learning their names. So here we go. Beano. Okay. There is another distraction treat here, so I might just feed Binka one more time and see how we go, and then I can get that box open. Binka! This is where they're going to start fighting over the distraction treat. Binka. Doop. There we go. Right, you two. There we go. Back in the cage. Training done. And no biting, which is good. So that's the third. Oh, there's a little bit of fisticuffs going on. Oh, you two. Yeah. You've both had your fill, but they're hungry for more. So what's really good about this training session here is there was no biting, and I got to do a recall with them. So just to introduce that recall. They don't know their name yet, and it will take some time for them to learn that, which is fine. But what is happening is that they're used to being picked up and fed a treat. Beano's more receptive at the moment to being held, whereas Binka wants to get away, and that's completely fine. Binka's more likely to try and turn and nip and try and bite, which is also fine. I think on tomorrow's training session, I'll start with some nip training. And basically what that will mean is I'll pick them up and show them my fist. And then I'll have a treat in my palm. And if they bite me, then I'll be able to get a finger and be no, put them down. They come up, show them my fist again, pick them up. If they bite me, no, little tap on the head, put them down again. And if they don't bite me and they just sniff, they get a treat. Doop, and then I'll put them down again. So I'm just going to start introducing that because I really want to get them out of this biting behaviour. Now, this biting behaviour comes from when they're young. You know, they're born in a litter of maybe anywhere between 8 and 10 kits, and the males are almost twice as big as the females. So the females will just get kicked out of the way and they get robbed and mugged for their food. And when they do get their food, they just grab it and they run and hide and consume it. And that's the habit that they're in at the moment. So this is day 3, and now they're learning that I'm here to provide food, but they're like, oh, maybe this guy's going to then take it off me straight away. And that's why they're taking the food and running for cover. There's that psychological discomfort in the animal or in the ferret where they're just like, well, this is what I'm used to and this is new to me, so I'm just going to take the food and deal with this like I know how, so I can protect my food and I can become satiated and I can survive. So that's where this training comes in, where I'm just like, hey, I'm not a threat to you. If you need safety, I'll give you safety. If you need comfort, I'll give you comfort. If you need discomfort, if you bite me, I'll give you discomfort.
but they also get acquisition too. So yeah, successful training session. They're both satiated. They've got a fresh bowl of water there, and they're comfortable. They're defecating quite well through the 25 mesh that's here, and they consumed a whole dish of water in a day. So they're eating, they're drinking, they're being trained, so they are happy little ferrets. So yeah, we'll just progress the training as we go, and the only thing I have to manage is, you know, just their behaviour, and then basically their psychological discomfort, and biting is where they're saying, hey, you know what, I'm frightened, and this is my mechanism to tell you that. And it's my job to show them that I'm not a threat to them. So we'll come back in the morning and we will come into day 4 of Binka and Beano's boot camp, and we'll press on from there. Cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow.